So India has done a very smart thing by deciding to use technology and market with enabling policy. When I say technology and market, create a foundational digital rail as a common infrastructure. That is the big difference that we have done. And that gives an opportunity for everybody to compete. Like for example, when you have I'll give you two examples. When you have good highways across the country, it gives everybody an opportunity to use that. And toll is not just, it doesn't matter whether you're running a bike or whether you're running a truck. You can use that to run your business. And you don't have to pay a toll based on the size of your business. You pay a toll based on the usage. So that's the spirit of digital public infrastructure. Everybody gets the equal opportunity to play in the digital market.
So, given that you're talking about an equal opportunity in the digital market, would steps or would initiatives like the India Stack, for instance, that has really laid the foundation when it comes to, streamlining operations and interoperable digital ecosystems. Is that a step in the right direction?
Of course. That is exactly the thing. So what have we done? We have created the variety of components to build on top. The identity on top, to identify everybody. You have UPI, which is to get a smooth and equal opportunity transaction in the money side. See, if you look at business has two. Any time when you do a transaction, let's say I'm buying something from you. I'm a buyer, you are a seller. I pay you money, you give me the goods. So what UPI has done is the payment side became very smooth, efficient and interoperable. What the next DPI is trying to do is the ONDC, which I am doing, is to make the good side of transaction interoperable. So in that way, these elements are giving the rails on the top of which everybody can build their business.
Mr. Neelkanth Mishra as well joining in. Good afternoon. We were just talking about this huge shift that we've seen towards digitization, the establishment of DPI, etc. How would you look at it in terms of helping the security and the scalability of e-commerce platforms?
So I think several of the points I think Koshy has already raised. I would look at it on three different levels. The first is that it makes the catchment area much bigger. Meaning that if you're just relying on cash on delivery, the transaction costs are much higher. The returns are 10-15% higher. So for the business to expand to new geographies, you need digital payment modes. And then you are restricted by the penetration of credit cards. All the old problems. And I think UPI and the India Stack have definitely helped solve for that. The second big thing is that by making people comfortable in transacting on their phones, it is bringing down the psychological barriers for making payments on the phone. So even if you go or online. So if you go to the website and you start making payments, you become much more comfortable because you've already done it several times. And I think these are very important psychological barriers that have been broken. And the third is that it has allowed for new forms of payments and credit to emerge. Like, buy now, pay later would never have emerged if not for some of these solutions that exist. So I think the India Stack, the digitization, I think has helped scale up well beyond what credit cards or debit cards would have done for us.
I want to bring up this point as well, because just before this, I was interacting with someone at Peak 15 and they were talking about, yes, there are the Zomatos of the world, but there's still that large population who is not accustomed to these apps. Or when you go to the rural areas, they'll say, you know what, give me my delivery a day later, but at a discounted price. I prefer that. I just wanted to understand from you, Mr. Koshy, if you could build on what Mr. Mishra was talking about, that until we actually solve for these cultural factors or barriers, there will still be that digital divide that exists?
You made a very important point of the diversity in our country. The challenge of today's e-commerce enterprises are India or anywhere, their focus is in a real sense to the creamy layer. If you look at What's the penetration? You and all of us sitting here are very heavy users. But what's the penetration? 7%, 8%, 9%? Less than 10 for sure. That's on the buy side.
Numbers are negligible, yeah.
And mine and seller side, it's even lesser. So, somebody the other day, very, lightheartedly explained to me that that is for the avocado segment of the society, which is the people sitting here. But that's not just India.
Yeah.
It is much broader and large. And so, that is where if you have the technology solutions to address this. Let me just explain in a quick fashion. That is what the Open Network is trying to do, using a standardized open protocol. So what is the outcome of this? Eventually, every product or service which is catalogable will be available on this network using this protocol. Today, if I am a seller, if I am to be there in multiple platforms, I have to go and integrate everywhere. How many places will I integrate? 1, 2, 3? And many places I won't be able to because the conditions are so risky. Tomorrow, I will make myself visible. It's like me creating an HTML page for my new site. Different kind of buying applications will come and help their kind of customers to buy what is relevant for them. Let me make a quick example to Today, there are only, for example, if you want to consumer products, or if you want to have food, there are 2 or 3 sellers and they are optimizing, of course, in a fantastic way for their client segment. Imagine tomorrow, a media company will say, till now, I have a set of people who have this reading habit. I know their profile. I want to extend products for them. Today, if they want to, let's say they want to extend food for them. Today, if the platform world, they have to go and tie up with all the restaurants, which is not their capability. In an open network, because they are already there, these enterprises will be able to, I can give you a customer interface. In fact, we already have an example of this. Dainik Jagran came with the Kojali.com. They don't have to tie up with any sellers at all because sellers are already there. And we are seeing different segments, just to show you. Gaming company come and say, hey, while these guys are gaming, I want to help them buy pizza, popcorn. And so they don't have to go and tie up with the pizza company and popcorn company because it's already available. So that is why I'm saying is you will kind of this diversity like and each of the, probably there would be some regional enterprise saying that I will do something very special, culturally attuned because I can use this technology. The beauty of this digital public infrastructure is standardization of these components and protocol help the enterprises to be innovative and specialized, but still the protocol stitching them together.